Hello friends, Adam here with FED. Today we're going to be talking about Wave 4 DLC, or the Fel Xenologue, the story, the extra story content that we're going to be getting. Now, there are going to be spoilers in this video for Fire Emblem Engage's story, up to the very end. I'm going to try not to talk about anything too major, but there are some things I will mention. So if you haven't beaten the game, you want absolutely zero spoilers, probably time to click away. Otherwise, I hope you enjoy the video. So let's get into it. Wave 4 DLC. This is from the Nintendo Direct in February. Fel Xenologue. I want to talk about a few things. I want to talk about these characters. I want to talk about how we'll access this Fel Xenologue, or how more like in world how they'll access it, and some more things like that. So, because honestly, we'll probably just click. There's probably just gonna be a menu option in the main screen under like DLC or something that we'll select, but I think it's worth noting like the in-world connection between these obviously two different places. And I say obviously two different places because of conversations you can have with like the emblems in the Divine Paralogs. Also, if you look at this looks eerily similar to the ring chamber in Lethos Castle, right? Except it's all decrepit and smashed, which, you know, that happens in the main game, but it looks different, doesn't it? It just looks different to me. But it also looks very similar, right? So it's a messed up ring room, messed up ring chamber at Lethos Castle. And then we have these two characters. Thank you for answering our prayers. I think it's interesting. They're obviously supposed to be like Fel dragons to some degree. I think they have they have the red eyes, number one. But also this is called like a Fel Xenologue. I don't know. They just remind me of like kind of designs we see for like Sombron and stuff. But also later on we see one of them turn into a literal Fel dragon enemy. I guess not enemy, but like dragon person to attack, and it's called like Felspark. That's like an attack Sombron has, right? Or something along those lines. And I think that it's pretty obvious that these two are Fel dragons. They are either children of Sombron from a different universe or something like that. But the thing that kind of throws me for a loop here is they say, thank you for answering our prayers, which we know that Fel dragons don't pray, at least in our, in Fire Emblem Engage's universe, they use incantations, right? Or invocations, I should say. So they don't like pray for help. They just like tell people to help them, which is kind of a funny thing. So that is an interesting thing. They say, thank you for answering our prayers. Number one, word that they're praying, if they're Fel dragons. Number two, it's interesting that they were praying for help in the first place, and that Alear is the answer. So they were looking for some sort of divine dragon to help them. So I'm guessing this is some sort of like alternate universe where the divine dragons lost to Sombron in the end. Whether like maybe Alear was killed, or Lumera never found Alear or something, or maybe Alear's gonna be like the big bad of this game, or maybe it's just like a complete flip-flop and divine dragons from their universe are bad and they were looking for a good divine dragon. There's a lot of different ways they could spin it and take it, but I think it's gonna be interesting nonetheless. And I think, again, they prayed for help from a divine dragon and the Alear shows up, so that's kind of cool. Now, this hooded figure, I've heard some people say they think this might be like Fogado, because you see like he has a darker skin complexion, dark hair. I think is that like all they literally like see? I don't know. It looks like it's obviously a dude, so with like a similar body type and build to Fogado, which would be interesting. Maybe the lords in this universe are bad people instead of being good people. And that's like a total reversal, right? Obviously has Corrupted behind him. Corrupted Wolf, scary. Yeah, so it's all well and good. We don't know a whole lot, but those are just like some of my guesses that either these are two Fel dragons turned good, and they were praying for help from a divine dragon because they don't have any, or it's the reverse, and in this universe, the good guys are bad guys, and the bad guys are good guys, vice versa. So I think that would actually be really interesting if that was the case. But how do we get here? How do our friends Alear and co get to this alternate universe where the other emblems, and by the way, you know that these other emblems, like Hector, Veronica, all those, they're emblems from a different like side of a different universe, right? Or a different timeline, I guess. And I think it's this one. But how do they get there? How do they get there? And I think there is an obvious answer to this, and it may seem silly. I think it's the Ancient Well. I think the Ancient Well is how we will access the DLC, whether it's through like actually like accessing it in our own main saves, or if we'll like access, or if like the characters will access it in the story through the Ancient Well. Because if you think about it, you throw all this crap into the Ancient Well, and then you get stuff back. So it's almost like you're trading between worlds with other people. Maybe they have an Ancient Well as well, and they're sending things to you while you're sending things to them of like equal-ish, you know, equal-ish money value. Also, the other thing that kind of leads me to this is the two weapons you get, the axe and the lance. It's like Revanche and Reprise Soleil, or however you say. I don't know how to say them, but the two cool-looking weapons you get, like the yellowish, goldish black weapons you get from the Ancient Well to start the quest. And those have a description that they say that they exude an otherworldly aura. So that alone screams to me that those two weapons are actually from wherever this Wave 4 Xenologue is going to take place. So we're just kind of trading weapons. And I think it's going to be a full-on, you know, revelation situation from Fates, where it's like, instead of jumping in the canyon to get to the other world, you like jump in the well, I guess. I don't know. Or maybe it's like an Ocarina of Time situation. Just got to jump down the well, man, and to continue the quest. I don't freaking know. But those are just kind of my general thoughts and feelings on this at this point. Obviously, all guesses outside of a few things that we can infer. There's not a whole lot to know. Aside, like, again, like, why are they praying? That's such an interesting thing to me. But let me know in the comments. What do you think? Do you think that I'm reading too much into this? Do you think it's going to be, like, not connected at all? Do you think that is, like, a broken ring chamber? I am curious to know. Please leave your thoughts in the comments. Like the video as well. Subscribe. Yeah, help us reach, like, we're close to 20,000. We've been close to 20,000 subscribers for a while now. I'd really appreciate it if you'd help us get there. That'd be super cool. But yeah, so subscribe if you're not, and I'll catch you next time, friends.